It doesn't sleep. It doesn't unionize. And it costs $2 an hour. The age of human labor just ended. It finally happened. The notice just went out, but it wasn't on a bulletin board. It was on Tesla's careers page. Right now, at the Fremont factory, Tesla is hiring production supervisor Tesla Bot and manufacturing engineering technician Tesla Bot. Read that again. Tesla isn't hiring people to build cars. They're hiring people to manage the robots that build the cars. Elon Musk isn't just predicting the future anymore. He is actively engineering the end of the blue-collar workforce as we know it. This isn't about automation. This is about a $1.29 per hour workforce that never sleeps, never unions, and never gets tired. Factory work? It's officially finished, and I've got the leaked numbers to prove it. While everyone's been arguing whether Optimus is real or fake, Tesla has been building the infrastructure to mass produce them. At Giga Texas right now, there's an expansion underway for what insiders are calling the Robot Superfactory, a facility aiming to pump out 10 million units annually by 2027. 10 million humanoid robots per year. But here's what nobody's talking about: Tesla's new unboxed manufacturing process. Traditional factories are long assembly lines. The unboxed process breaks that apart. Components are built in parallel modules, then snapped together. This increases factory density by 44%. Now here's the problem. Humans can't fit efficiently in those tight, modular spaces. But you know who can? Humanoid robots designed to be exactly human-sized. The factory isn't being redesigned for cars. It's being redesigned for Optimus. The blueprint is already drawn. Let's talk hardware. The current Gen 3 Optimus has 22 degrees of freedom in its hands alone. That means it can thread a needle, handle a raw egg without cracking it, or install a delicate wire harness. These aren't party tricks. These are the exact tasks being done right now by workers earning $30 an hour. But the breakthrough isn't what it can do. It's how it learns. Tesla uses Sim2Real training. The robot learns by watching videos of humans performing tasks. Remember those fake demos where Optimus was folding shirts via teleoperation? That wasn't deception. That was school. Every time a human operator wears a VR headset and controls the robot, they're generating training data. Thousands of hours of teleoperation equal millions of data points for the neural network to learn from. And Tesla already has the data engine. Their full self-driving system, led by VP of AI Ashok Eliswamy, has collected real-world video from millions of cars for years. The same end-to-end neural network that teaches a car to navigate traffic is now teaching a robot to navigate a factory floor. It's photons in, controls out. Same brain, different body. That's the moat nobody else has. Now, we get to the part that should terrify every factory worker on the planet. Let me show you the math that kills jobs. A human manufacturing worker in the United States costs about $30 per hour. That's salary plus benefits, insurance, workers' comp, and payroll taxes. Over a full year, that's roughly $60,000. But factories don't run on a single shift. To keep one workstation manned 24/7, you need 3 shifts plus weekend and vacation coverage. That's 4.2 full-time employees. So one station, running continuously, costs a company $210,000 per year in labor alone. Now let's look at Optimus, Tesla's target price, $20,000 to $30,000 per unit. Let's be conservative and say $25,000. The robot charges overnight using about 2.3 kilowatt hours. That's roughly 50 cents in electricity per day. Add in maintenance, software updates, and depreciation over a 5-year lifespan, and you're looking at an operating cost of $3 to $5 per hour. Some projections put it as low as $1.29 per hour at scale. Tell me, Mr. CEO, which workforce would you choose? The one that costs $210,000 a year and works 40 hours a week, or the one that costs $25,000 once and works 22 hours a day for 5 years? The payback period is 6 months. After 6 months, that robot has saved more money than it cost to purchase. For the next 4.5 years, it's essentially working for free. Over a 10-year horizon, one robot generates net savings of over $600,000 compared to human labor. That's not speculation, that's arithmetic. Now let me introduce you to the lights out factory. Imagine a manufacturing facility with no lights, no air conditioning, no bathrooms, and no parking lots. Just machines moving in perfect silence in the dark. It sounds dystopian, but from a balance sheet perspective, it's paradise. Humans require infrastructure. We need HVAC systems to stay comfortable, ergonomic workstations to prevent injury, cafeterias to eat lunch, HR departments to handle complaints. All of that costs money, overhead that adds up to millions annually. Robots need none of it. A robot doesn't care if it's 50 degrees or 100 degrees on the factory floor. It doesn't need safety equipment. It doesn't file lawsuits. It doesn't take smoke breaks. The 2-year ROI on Optimus is what seals the deal. In the world of industrial automation, a 24-month payback is considered excellent. Tesla's projecting 6 months. Once the robot pays for itself, it works for free for the next 8 to 10 years. That's the economic gravity pulling every factory toward full automation. Picture this. It's 2026. You walk into Giga Texas. You don't see assembly line workers anymore. You see data collection operators wearing VR headsets, supervising fleets of humanoid robots. The robots are sorting battery cells, a hazardous task that exposes humans to toxic materials. They're installing seats, repetitive heavy lifting that destroys human backs after a few years. They're doing precise wiring, the kind of tedious work that causes carpal tunnel syndrome in human workers. These aren't future tasks. These are the exact jobs Optimus is being trained to do right now inside Tesla's own factories. Now let's talk about why Tesla wins this race and everyone else loses. Boston Dynamics Atlas is an engineering marvel. It can do backflips. It's also built with hydraulic actuators, costs upward of $150,000, and leaks fluid that requires constant maintenance. It's a research project, not a product. Figure AI has Figure 02, backed by OpenAI and Microsoft. Impressive hardware, natural language integration, but estimated to cost $50,000 or more. Still expensive enough to make CFOs hesitate. Agility Robotics has Digit, already deployed in Amazon warehouses. But Digit is specialized. It's designed to move totes, not perform general tasks. It uses a robot-as-a-service model at $10 to $15 per hour. That's better than humans, but it's not ownership. Then there's Unitree, a Chinese manufacturer that just released the G1 humanoid for $16,000. That's the validation. If a smaller firm can hit $16,000, Tesla, with its gigafactories, vertical integration, and automotive supply chain, can absolutely deliver on the $20,000 promise. Here's Tesla's advantage. They already manufacture electric motors and batteries at massive scale for cars. Optimus uses the same components. They're not inventing new technology. They're repurposing existing tech into a new form factor. That's the supply chain moat. Nobody else can touch it. And there's one more thing. Wright's Law. For every cumulative doubling of production volume, costs fall by 10 to 15%. Most robotics companies produce in the hundreds. Tesla is targeting millions. As production scales, the cost per unit collapses. Elon has even hinted at the von Neumann probe concept. Robots building robots. If the labor cost of manufacturing a robot is just electricity, because robots are assembling other robots, the marginal cost approaches the price of raw materials. That's the end game. Now, what happens to the workers? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Labor unions are fighting the last war. The UAW just secured massive wage increases for workers at Ford, GM, and Stellantis. UAW President Shawn Fain says Tesla workers are future UAW members. But here's the thing. Every dollar unions add to labor costs makes the ROI on Optimus better. If unions push total labor costs to $70,000 or $80,000 per year, They're not protecting jobs. They're accelerating automation. You can't unionize a robot. It doesn't demand a 32-hour work week. It doesn't strike. It doesn't need healthcare. The factory of the future might technically be unionized, but the union will represent a few dozen technicians, not thousands of assembly workers. The age of organized labor in manufacturing, it's on life support. So here's what's actually happening right now in 2025. Tesla is hiring supervisors for robots, not workers. They're building factories designed for humanoid labor. They've cracked the cost barrier. And the math says that within 18 months, a robot will be cheaper than a human for almost any repetitive physical task. Elon Musk has called Optimus the biggest product ever made, bigger than the car business. He says it will create an economy of abundance. And maybe he's right. Because here's the thing, nobody wants to say out loud. Why is Elon really doing this? Because there are no workers on Mars. Optimus isn't just about replacing factory workers on Earth. It's about building the infrastructure for a Mars colony before humans even arrive. You can't send 1 million people to Mars and expect them to build habitats by hand. You send the robots first. They build the base, mine the resources, construct the solar arrays. By the time humans land, the city is already there. That's the vision. That's the infinite money glitch. A robot that builds everything: cars, homes, rockets, and more robots. An economy where the cost of physical goods trends toward the cost of raw materials and electricity, where scarcity is a relic of the biological age. Now here's the question. If a robot takes your job, but the cost of living drops to near zero because robots are making everything, is that a utopia or a dystopia? Think about it. No more back-breaking labor. No more repetitive strain injuries. No more humans stuck in dangerous factories breathing toxic fumes. The robots handle the drudgery, and humans are freed to do creative work, strategic thinking, art, innovation. That's the optimistic framing. But the pessimistic framing? Millions of people whose entire identity and income is tied to manual labor, suddenly obsolete. A two-tier economy. Those who own the robots and those who compete with them. Wealth concentrated in the hands of those who control the means of automated production. The truth is probably somewhere in between. But one thing is certain. The transition is already underway. The job postings are live. The factories are being built. The math is undeniable. So here's my question for you. What do you think happens next? Drop your answer in the comments. Are we headed toward a world of abundance? Or are we sleepwalking into a jobs crisis? Because this isn't a prediction anymore. This is a timeline. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve on what's coming next, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. The future doesn't wait for permission, and neither should you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.